कौन रिकॉर्डिंग? हेलो हेलो। हेलो हेलो हेलो। सेशन 10 बजे से चालू होगा।
I'm not able to control. What was that? Why are you compiling from here? Huh?
Ma'am, where from?
What? We are using Eclipse, no? Eclipse already compiles it.
Yes, ma'am.
Then
I have done from here only. Ma'am, here also I have done. It's not.
because the
Here
thing
also
is,
it's not executing.
because the thing is, we don't compile and execute the classes in the package in that way. That is the wrong way. Wait. Static void main. Execute this code. I'm not able to do anything on your screen. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry that network issues.
Okay. Whenever you are compiling or executing any class from command prompt, this is not the way how you compile. Execute. Even if it is compiled, your code is compiled, right? But it is not going to be executed that way, how you are executing from command prompt. You need to be outside the package and then Java, name of the package, and then class. That is supposed to be done. That's why it is not getting executed from command prompt. Now here execute the code directly, this main method. Let me see first what is the issue.
Ma'am, can you read the command? Ma'am,
What? I'm able
can
to
you
hear
repeat the
only ma'am,
command?
nothing apart from ma'am.
Ma'am, can you repeat the command?
Arey, Meri maa. Do we execute command for execution of codes in Eclipse? That means you are not paying attention from day one. We just click on this now.
No, ma'am, you said that before executing the command prompt, so we need to go to the package. Said something.
So you need to be outside the package, then Java space name of the package. Java C is for compilation.
Yes,
and Java is for execution. First execute this program here in Eclipse. Let me check. Execute it here first. Let me check what is the
Yes,
issue.
ma'am. Only this much is coming.
Because you have written get advice of 1 explicitly. Look at line number 25.
Yes, ma'am.
Then it will give you that only. What code you have written?
Ma'am, you said that to use command line arguments. So I thought this will be like this. We need to from string we need to pass the
Please fix your network issues. I cannot handle your queries this way. I'm not able to hear what you have done. Fix your network issues first. Then we will look at the code. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Open your greeter class. Let me see what code you have written there. Why this string you have not kept as private? How do we create class? How do we define a class? Greeter. What a greeter should have? Is this the correct implementation of greeter?
Ma'am, I thought so.
Correct. But you will have to make this string parameter, name parameter as private. Why you haven't kept
Yes,
it
ma'am.
private?
Yes, ma'am.
Private? Let's go step by step.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So add private over there. Huh. Correct. Save this class. Okay, go to advisor class. Let me see what is there in your advisor class. Again here. This needs to be private. At line number 5, whatever code you have written, that should not be written there. Whenever any initialization needs to be done of an array, that will be done in the constructor. Okay. So after that message equal to new string, just pick that particular code and write it into the constructor. After message, I said you removed everything. After message is what I said. Do we declare variables in constructor? अरे यार ऐसे मत करो. Where do we declare variables, Susmita?
Ma'am?
Arey, please say something apart from ma'am.
Ma'am, I can't hear you properly. That's why.
Do we write code in this way, Susmita?
No, ma'am.
Then why have you written the code in this way? I'm not able to even access your screen. Do we declare variables in constructor?
No, ma'am. Outside the constructor.
Then you have answer of everything, but you have not implemented it. It's like that. Okay, this keyword is not required over here. Fine. Even if you keep it, it is okay. If you don't keep it, still it is okay. Okay. Get advice int n. Why you have
Yes.
not used switch case over here?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
And why do you need all this? Do you really need to check what is the condition? This n will be what?
Ma'am,
N
random
is the
number.
index? No. But n will be the index, no? N will be the index. You are talking about an array. Yes or no? Now, when you are saying that get advice, why you are not returning the advice? Pick the advice. You already have an array which holds 5 strings, right? So what you are supposed to do over here? What's wrong here? Is there network issue at my end or your end, Susmita?
Ma'am, ma'am, it's a lot of network issues.
Return message of n. That n is going to represent the index, right?
Yes.
So why to compare it? You don't need the comparison. So that's why I have kept the code what you have done, but that is not required. Yes, the n you are passing will be what? Index. You have an array, right? So
Yes.
that value will be passed, right?
Okay.
So this will be your greeter class and this will be your advisor class. Okay, greeter class, it is going to accept the name, and advisor class, it is going to display the message. Fine. Now in greeter test, what we have? So in greeter test, what we have? Now you have class in my project, Susmita. Okay, fine, correct. Okay. So first of all, greeter class objects are supposed to be created, right? Yes. अरे मुझे कोई ये बताओ, ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट में क्या करना है, बताओ. Anyone?
Ma'am, we need to print say hello and say bye after the name, and we need to give a advice randomly from the array.
पहले एक से करके देखते हैं, right? So greeter greeter 1 is equal to new greeter, and we have Ram. Susmita, why there is network issue at your end today? Any?
Ma'am, I don't know. Today is only.
Fine. Like this, how many objects are supposed to be created?
Yes, ma'am.
How many objects are supposed to be created? ऐसा कुछ दिया है?
No, ma'am.
Then random number generation is required. Now, if you see, you have एक minute. You have specified that okay, get advice 3, get advice 1. So it will give you that specific address advice only. We need to have the random number generation. So how you have created the random number generation?
Math.random.
There is a random like a class.
Correct.
Java.
Either you can make use of math.random. That is one option, or there is one more class named as random, which is from java.util.
Okay.
Is equal to okay. After that, now you are supposed to generate a random number between 0 to what is it? 4. Yes. So int random number equal to next int,
Next.
and here you are going to specify the bound. Yes, where 0 is inclusive and specified value is exclusive. So it is going to create an integer between the range. कितने है? 5 है ना?
Then
0,
just
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes,
So this
4.
should be 5. This should be 5, na?
Yes, ma'am. It must be 5.
Right. Then what is supposed to be done? Now we will create multiple objects. Say 2, 3. Okay. What we will do? We will create an array of greeter type. Is that okay? नहीं रामायण महाभारत बोल रही हूँ. Okay, let's create new greeter.
Madam కూర్చుంది.
क्या हुआ? What happened?
Those names have to take from a command line argument actually.
We will see that. First, we will see now how it is working, and then we will take those names from the command line argument. Okay.
Okay.
First, how it is working for array. Let's see both. How we will be able to pass them from command line, and how we are going to use. So first, okay, I have these 5 greeter objects. I have say hello method, right? So for I'm going to make use of greeter of I dot say hello. Yes. So first, this particular method should be executed. After that, any message from the random class, right? That message should be retrieved. Yes or no? Here in
But
advisor,
for every initialization, it will be the advise method, no, ma'am? But for every initialization of the object, it will create a like an advice, no, ma'am? For all the objects, it should create one advice only, no?
no, advice is selected randomly.
Okay. Not like
We are
that.
not creating advisor
for,
every time. We are
ma'am,
not going
for-
to create advisor every time.
okay.
We are going to just get the random message
Advisor,
from that.
yes, advice. Yeah.
So here I will need advisor class object. Every time a random number should be created. That I don't know. So advisor. So this advisor object is created only once. Now what we are going to do is system.out.println. Then I have this advisor object dot get advice, and here I'm going to pass whatever random number is created. Got it? Yes.
But it generates every advice for Ram and also as well as Sita, as well as Hanuman and for Lakshman. For everyone, it will create an advice, no, ma'am.
Why?
Yes, ma'am. As a like that itself, ma'am.
Why new
for
object
all of
every
them,
time
it should
for
not a new object, ma'am. New advice for every object that creates.
so
Ma'am, you
that-
are
But for all the for Ram, Sita, and Hanuman and Lakshman, you should get only one advice, no?
no,
The given
not like
problem,
that.
no? Okay, ma'am.
ma'am,
Not
you
like
have a
have
doubt
given
that-
the
But the
question like
example
that.
was
That's
like that, ma'am.
Okay,
example
and
was like
okay,
that.
fine. If
Like
you
that.
need that, if you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
that, if only
You
one
should create that statement after for loop.
okay.
Yes,
So if this is required,
yes,
then you should add it over here.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So okay, it is like you should first print this, the for loop. Correct. What's wrong, man? Huh. So 5 names will be printed in this order, right?
Increasing order.
Increasing order. Then one message will be printed. Okay, I thought there is a separate for
Yes.
every. Okay, fine. Now you need to reverse that particular array, right? So what will be the starting condition? So int I equal to
Greater
The
than
length of the
12.
array.
greater dot
Greater dot length.
Correct. After that,
I must be greater than 0.
Length minus 1.
y minus
I must
1
be greater than 0. I must be greater than 0.
greater than or equal to
The array value starts from 0, ma'am.
No, you need to print from reverse, no? So that's
now you are going to tell
Then
me
it
what
is length minus 1.
your voice is very high.
It is length minus 1, no?
No,
You tell
then
me, I'm asking you, there should be length or length minus 1.
no, then there should be only
Length
length
minus
because we are determining above 0, not is equal to 0.
Ma'am, there must be length minus 1, ma'am, and I must be
Length
greater than or equal
minus
to
1
0.
and
Okay, what
I
we
greater
greater
than
will
than
or
zero.
let's keep it length. Okay, then we will see what happens, and then we will see what happens with length minus 1. Okay, let's try out for both.
Make I barabar 1, ma'am. Then it's good.
Greater
But
than or
I
equal
have 0. See, index is
greater than
what?
or equal to.
0, 1,
Yes.
2, 3.
Greater
That
than or
means
equal
Length
to.
minus 1, ma'am.
Length minus 1 greater than or equal to 0.
Correct. This will be
I
minus
greater
1
than equals to 0.
and greater than.
Or equal to 0.
Equal to.
You are getting Java now. Good. Okay. Then greater of I dot say goodbye. So first, let's see with hard-coded values. Right? So run as Java application. Are we getting expected output? Ram, Sita, Hanuman, Lakshman.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sita, Ram. Okay, let's execute it again, and we need to say eat healthy is the message that we are getting right now. Now the message is different. This is random number generation, right? You can see that every time a different number is getting generated. Which number? That will range from 0 to 4. Okay, so yes, this is working now. Now we are not supposed to initialize this array over here. What you are supposed to do is you are supposed to pass these names from the command line. So how you are going to pass these names from command line? Those we will see,
Arguments.
and those names will be available in string of string earths, right? Yes. So how you are going to work it? Now, so far we were working with greeter array. Now you need to work with ARGS. Yes, so that is already an array. So here simply you are going to make use of ARGS everywhere, wherever greeter was used. Got it or no? Sorry. This will be what? Greeter dot, no? Say hello method is in what?
Hello is in greeter, man.
So we will need object of greeter. Now see what you have done. You have passed the parameter to constructor, isn't it?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
should you pass the parameter to the constructor? Now you are getting data from the or this particular name you are receiving from what? An array. And array is not going to create greeter object. When this constructor will be useful, whenever you are getting data at constructor level. Now here you are not going to create this particular constructor. Yes or no? So in this case, what I suggest you to do is don't go for this. Simply pass a name over here. This you can do to the method. How many of you have done in this way?
Me, ma'am.
Because we are not creating a greeter object now every time. What we are doing, we are going to create a greeter object to just invoke the method. Say hello and say goodbye. And greeter object doesn't have the data. Are you getting this point? The data is available where? Here, ARGS of I. So, greeter, will you please put yourself on mute? Who is unmute? Akash. Akash. So greeter dot
Say hello.
and to that particular say hello method, you are going to pass this particular parameter,
Array.
right? Same thing will need to be done here. We will need to do the same thing. So greeter. Now previously it was working fine. Yes, previously it was working fine. Why? Now isko kya ho gaya? Previously it was working fine because we were making that data available to the greeter object. So greeter object had that data. Now greeter object doesn't have the data. The name is not there. Name is available in this main method and greeter object has the method. So your data is available with one class and your method is available in another class. This is the scenario that you have. So now your class design should also be dependent on from where you are getting what data. Clear? Yes, Sasmita, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
So if you have this greeter class constructor accepting a value, you will have to do one thing, that first accept that data from the ARGS, put it into the greeter object and then use it. So first you will have to create this particular array in that case. If you don't want, And if your method is accepting data, right, then you can directly pass it to the method. Now, how you are going to pass the command line arguments? So I guess nobody did that R&D. So here, run configuration, you have arguments. These are your program arguments. So RAM, रावण को भी भेज देते हैं, जाओ जी लो अपनी जिंदगी. हाँ. Now see, are we getting expected output?
Yes, ma'am.
How you are going to pass the command line arguments. For that, whenever you are using IDE, you don't need to switch to command prompt. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So everybody understood how you are supposed to implement this code, one thing. And second thing, how your class design should be. Which data is available at what point, how you are going to making that data available, from where it is going to flow, that everything needs to be decided at the class design level only. So whenever any assignment is given to you, I would suggest you to first do some paperwork or open Paint. Create those circles and rectangles to specify that, okay, this is class advisor, this is class greeter, this will be the main. When I say command line arguments will be available at main method, greeter test. Greeter class will be able to print that particular data, hello and goodbye. So name should reach from the main method to the greeter class, right? And if you will analyze your application first prior to start coding, right, it will be easier for you. Now, if you will see, Tasmita, we have changed your entire code now, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
That means you should have done some more digging onto what should be the designs, how the classes need to be created. Now, whether greeter class should have that name variable, unnecessarily we don't need any variables to be declared. Now, when you should go for declaring variables at class level, when within that particular class you are going to initialize that data member and use it. But now how you are making that data available? If you are passing it to the constructor, you have seen that whatever number of arguments we have passed, those many objects you will have to create if you need to still work with greeter, right? So at line number 13, how we have created that greeter array. So suppose you have passed 10 names, like we have passed 5 over here. Yes. So if you have passed 10, then what you should do, you should create 10 greeter objects and pass one name to each of it. Are you getting that part or no? Like here we have created this greeter array as a hard-coded one, right? If you want to create this greeter array, depending on whatever values you have received. Yes. So what you need to do first is, I'm just showing you what is supposed to be done. So greeter array is equal to new greeter. I'm just, this is extra work, extra thing I'm telling you. And what will be the length of it? Length will be whatever number of parameters you have received as a command line argument. Got it? when you are keeping this variable available at the constructor level. So here you will have to do args dot length. So this will be the creation of your greater array. Understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Now after this, what you will have to do? So suppose you have this, I will add one more constructor in the greater class, which is accepting this parameter. So this entire code I will uncomment. Okay, and at the same time, I will have to provide one more constructor which is not accepting any parameter, so that our current code will not be disturbed. So string name. And here this parameter will not be there, directly you will put the name. Obviously, some changes are supposed to be done at the class level as well. So here you will have to first create this particular array. For that, you will again have to make use of for loop. Then greater array of I equal to args of I. Then your array will be created, because you are making that variable available at the constructor level. So those many objects are supposed to be created, right? New greeter kaha gaya? New greeter into bracket. Then your array will be created, and then you can perform operation on the array. Got it? This you will have to write if you are passing the parameter to the constructor of greeter class. Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
Scanner
understood.
was not required, Samartha. This was the example of command line argument.
Ma'am, can you show the advice class once again? Advisor.java. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So now, Sasmita, you can stop sharing your screen. See, we are okay to spend some time if required, more time for understanding what we are learning. I just don't want to complete the topic. Just for the sake of completion, we don't want, right? 8 minutes. Okay. Okay. So should we move ahead? Any other issue you have? Any other assignment you have? Any other issue? Or we are good?
Ma'am, the assignment with the customer one. Ma'am.
The one which I had given.
Yes, ma'am, the customer one which had so many classes, ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, which functions do we need to add and how to approach that question, ma'am? Just a bit confused.
Okay. So first of all, let's design the classes that we are going to have. So first of all, 3 classes are there. What are those? Customer, order, and product. Right? This, I want you to first implement this way. Right? So
Address will be also there.
Ma'am, address also as a class.
हाँ, मैं इंडिविजुअल हाँ वो बनाती हूँ मैं. अरे रुको यार, पहले ये तो बनाने दो. यहाँ पे क्या था? ऑर्डर. यहाँ पे था प्रोडक्ट और एक और क्लास था एड्रेस. यहाँ सा छोटू सा बना देती हूँ. ये है एड्रेस. राइट? एड्रेस के क्या फील्ड्स रहेंगे? मान लो क्या हो गया? फ्लैट नंबर हो गया, अपार्टमेंट नेम हो गया, रोड हो गया, सिटी हो गया और पिन कोड. बस इतना काफी है ना? कस्टमर के पास क्या रहेगा? कस्टमर विल हैव आईडी, कस्टमर विल हैव नेम, customer will have address, and customer will have
order detail.
मतलब orders का क्या रहेगा? Array रहेगा. Because when we say that one customer can place many orders, that means this order should be represented here. Okay, what we will do, फिर से बनाते हैं. I will add it later. So customer will have ID, name, address, और क्या रहेगा? अभी इतना ही रहने देते हैं. Right. What order will have? Order will have ID and name. Suppose order name, right? Product will also have product ID, product name, and cost. Right? This is what we have over here. Now, one product has this particular data, and order is going to have one or multiple products, isn't it? So these two classes are related to each other as one-to-many relationship. So this one class will have multiple products. One order will have one or multiple, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So how we will represent multiple orders in one, multiple products in one order? So here you are going to have an array of type products. This will be an array. This is how one-to-many relationship can be implemented. Now this array can hold one value or multiple values, right? But we cannot have, okay, if one product is there, what should be done? If many products are there, what should be done? When an array is created, it can hold one value also and 100 values also. So that is okay. Now this customer and address, again, they have a connection. This is again one-to-one. Currently, we are considering one-to-one relationship we are considering over here between customer and address.
Okay,
Why I'm
ma'am.
saying currently? Because if you visit any e-commerce website, there is no restriction on how many addresses you can specify, right? But currently we are keeping one address. If you also want, means generally dekho, Amazon Pay, whenever you will shop, whenever you confirm the order, it asks that where you want it to be delivered, and you are supposed to select that particular address, right? Currently, we are not giving this facility. One address is given, so the delivery, the order will be at that address. This is what we are simulating over here. Now, whenever we have customer and order, so one customer can place multiple orders, one or
One-to-many.
multiple. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So how I'm going to represent this particular order over here? So as I want to have the facility to hold multiple order, so it will be orders. Yes. Currently, let's keep that quantity aside and let's consider that, okay, one quantity of product is there. Let's keep quantity aside. Okay. Otherwise, we will have to make arrangement over here, that quantity of every product. Let's keep it to one right now. One order will have one product as quantity as one. That's it. Clear? So now, will you be able to create these classes or no?
Ma'am,
What functions do we need to add, ma'am?
So it will be only here. Calculate total bill to be paid. That's it. Functions, now see how you want. You want it to be done at constructor level, how initialization will be done. That you need to decide.
ma'am, I have made a project on that, ma'am. Can I share my screen to you?
Yeah.
Or- yeah, I'll just share. Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Now it is, yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Like, I'm just running the program. Yeah, ma'am. You can, as you know, every the data which is stored is a null, ma'am. Actually, I'm just initializing all the objects now. So we need to add every product like that, ma'am. I'm just adding a product. It is asking for product name. I'm typing the product name as car, and the cost of it is 2000. And also I need to.
Array 2000 car ki.
Just ma'am,
Right now I bought a car 15 lakhs.
Just a product, ma'am. And I am creating a customer, customer with the customer name as my name. And for total address, I took as a string, ma'am. Okay, like Tirupati 517507. Okay, ma'am. And I need to add an order to that now. So it will ask to enter the order name. Order name is on Srinu, right, ma'am? So order name is Srinu, and the product name, what I need to do is car.
Right.
And the number of quantity of products is basically 4, for example. Okay. So
Okay.
now if I need to print the display, so it will display as a 1 minute. Sorry. Oh, like I have 1 minute now. Bike. Okay, ma'am. If I need to display all, you know, ma'am, here it is the one is which represents is basically the customer ID. Srinu is customer name and the address is Tirupati and 51757. This one is representing to the order ID. Srinu, the order name, and the product ID is 1, which is car.
Okay.
And the number of quantity is 4.
Okay.
If I add again to the like an order to the Srinu again. So for example, I'm adding an order to Srinu again, and I have created a bike number, bike of 3. And if I need to display all, you can see here another order had created over here. Yeah, here 2 Srinu, where 2 is bike, and the price is 300. So by using the quantity and the product ID, I can get the rupees and also create a bill. Like if I add a function over there. Okay, ma'am. This much is the product, right, ma'am? The project is.
Okay.
And this is the customer class I have created. And add order. And this is the order by which you can like add order means it comes to here and creates an array. This is the array list which I implemented, ma'am. 2-dimensional array list, which I created over here.
Okay.
And
Now, I was actually, yes, that is absolutely okay that you have created the collection.
Yes,
But what was expected in this was, we haven't yet discussed about.
yes, ma'am. I'm not good at arrays, ma'am. I'm just trying to implement those things as much as possible. I'm learning of that. As you have explained, I am implementing it in many projects. Yeah.
Because then what happens, many
Yes,
times
everyone gets confused.
customer requirement that
Yes.
we want it in this way.
Yeah. If we need, we can just parse it to the integer and just get the values like that. Like that, I have implemented it. That's it.
Because why this is every topic you should
Yes,
be
ma'am.
thorough with, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So that's why these assignments
Yes,
are
ma'am.
given.
Yes.
However, what I suggest you over here is, okay, one more thing. At line number 23, 9,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
create a customer. C should be capital.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Okay.
Add order. O should be
Okay,
capital.
ma'am.
According to
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So please make these changes.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just make the changes.
Right now you will feel that ma'am
Yeah.
is
Yes.
paying attention to this, but this is required.
Okay, ma'am.
Because many times I have got this feedback that
Yes, ma'am.
people don't follow naming convention. And whoever are like, the managers or the leads, they definitely look into all these details. Okay.
Yes,
Now, what should be name of this? At line number 45, you have written order display. It should be display order.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I
Because
got it.
as it is a name of the method, it must
Yes.
start with some action word.
I'll just make the changes. Okay, ma'am. I'll make it. Yeah.
This must begin with the action word. Any method
Yes,
name,
ma'am.
because it is a method means it is going to do some task.
Yes, ma'am.
And do some task is nothing but do some action. D will not be capital, only O will be capital in display order. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I
Now
will
you will
stop.
get a lot of compilation errors.
Yes, yes. Yeah. I'll just make that again. Okay,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
But why I thought of sharing it right now, because everybody is able to see the code and what
Yes, ma'am.
changes you are supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But there are many changes.
Yes,
Many
yes.
changes I can
Yes,
see over
naming
here.
changes. Yes, many.
Yes,
Yes,
order
ma'am.
name,
Yeah,
N
yeah.
to be capital, order ID, I to
Yes.
be capital. Huh?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
please
I'll just make that.
these coding standards
ma'am.
as well.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is really important.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I'm just stopping this.
Because what happens now, even if you are thorough with understanding, you can code. I agree, you can code. Now it's the time to
Nailed
polish
it.
yourself,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is also equally important. That's why I'm telling you this.
Yeah, okay.
Then if you feel like not so
No.
good about me,
No. Not like that.
because you have implemented this much code and I'm telling you this is
Yeah,
wrong.
no.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
fine. Yeah. Clear? Okay. So break lena hai? Do you want to take a break here? And then we will start with today's topic. Correct. So in this polymorphism, okay, in inheritance, what we discussed yesterday is whenever we are creating reference of superclass, it can hold object of its own as well as object of any of its subclass, right? So this is related to this is related to upcasting, right? Now we have also seen what is overriding. So what happens whenever you are implementing overriding in your application? First of all, whenever you are implementing overriding in your application, you are shadowing your superclass method. It will get shadowed, right? It will be hidden. Why? Because whenever you are overriding any method, overriding means whatever implementation is provided to me right now is not required by the subclass. I need some other implementation to be available as per the need of the subclass. Okay, as per the need of the subclass. Is this clear to everyone? Yes, that is nothing but overriding. Then we have also seen that how the runtime polymorphism is achieved through overriding and upcasting. Now, many times I get a question from students like, then why to go for this particular approach? Yes, why we should create a reference of superclass and then store object of subclass? These are certain questions, right? So yes, definitely we can do. I can write a rectangle is equal to new rectangle and call calc area, call display area, call print. But then that is static binding. There I'm not able to achieve runtime polymorphism. So when it comes about achieving runtime polymorphism, it will always be you are going to create the reference of superclass and going to store object of subclass. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, obviously here there is no dynamic binding, right? This is static binding because I have declared a variable of polygon and I'm storing object of polygon. This is static binding. Where is dynamic binding? This is dynamic binding, right? So depending on what type of object is created, the reference is bound to that particular object. And because objects are created at runtime, anything that happens at runtime is dynamic. So now when we have these three things together, so now we can say that, yes, I'm not sure at a certain point at the time of compilation that whether the polygon is getting bound to polygon object or rectangle object or triangle object, and this will be decided based on the object creation that happens at runtime. Is this clear, everyone, or no? Yes.
Please repeat it last point.
So here how dynamic binding is achieved, that at a certain point at the time of compilation, we don't know that whether the polygon object or the rectangle object or the triangle object is associated or is referred by polygon reference. Okay. So that is dynamic. That is decided at what time? Runtime. And as it is decided at runtime, it is dynamic binding. Got it?
Yes,
but this is possible only if you are creating reference of superclass and storing object of the subclass. Then only we can achieve runtime polymorphism. Otherwise, runtime polymorphism is not achieved. Also, one more facility, you are creating reference of superclass. So you are enhancing the capability of that particular reference to point to either the same superclass object or any of its subclass.
Ma'am, when should we go for static binding or dynamic binding?
So whenever there is inheritance, yes, and when the methods are overridden, not only inheritance, but when the methods are overridden, in that case, you can definitely go for runtime polymorphism. If methods are not overridden, there is no point in going for, or there is no polymorphism required, right? In that case, polymorphism means what? One method should be available in multiple forms.
Yes.
So if you have not overridden, that means you don't have polymorphism. So in that case, anyways, you don't have to achieve polymorphism. Yes, but yes, definitely, even if you have a normal inheritance, in that case also you can just create object of superclass and store the reference of subclass, but it will not demonstrate the runtime polymorphism because you don't have overridden methods. Okay.
Yes.
Because as we have seen, this reference of superclass can invoke only the overridden methods and not the methods that are added by subclass, right? Yes. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what we have seen, how we are going to achieve runtime polymorphism. Now, what happens here? One of my observation. Yes. So whenever we have this particular calc area method that is available in Polygon, right? But what I have observed that suppose in your scenario, in your application, you know that, okay, there will be one method, the name of the method will be calc area. calculate area. It will accept 2 parameters, right? But whatever implementation I have provided over here, that implementation is not required. The reason why it is not required, because at this particular point, I don't know exactly which class is going to do this calculation of area. So whether it is rectangle or it is triangle or it is any other class, that I'm not sure about. Yes. So in that case, here I am sure about the signature only. That yes, this is the standard which needs to be followed, right? But I don't have any implementation, because what I have observed that whatever implementation I have provided in calc area, none of the classes are using it. They are providing their own implementation. And the reason why they are providing their own implementation is because their requirement differs from what is provided in Polygon. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when this implementation is not required, why to provide that implementation? When it is not required, when it is not utilized, why to provide it? Let's not provide it. So is it possible to just declare the signature or just to provide the signature for a specific method and not to provide the implementation? So first question comes in my mind is it allowed? Right? So the answer to this question is yes, it is allowed. I can write a method which does not contain any implementation, and it contains only declaration. But such methods are not concrete methods. Such methods must be declared as abstract method. Abstract means which is not complete, right? Abstract means something that is not complete. So when I only have a signature, and signature obviously talks about the standard. So I'm specifying the standard to be followed by further classes, and implementation will be provided by further classes, because at this particular point, I'm not sure about what implementation will be required, but I'm sure about what is the structure. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, like when we talk about a method drive. Yes, so drive is the method, but implementation of drive method, or it is a standard. Any vehicle is there, vehicle needs to be driven. So vehicle will have a standard as drive. But how to drive, that depends on which vehicle you are designing or defining, right? So whether you are defining an aeroplane or a car or a truck or a bus or a boat or a ship, right? So drive is there. These are all vehicles. There is a standard which is a common feature for all these entities, no doubt about it. However, what should be the implementation? What should be the way of implementing, defining that particular function? I'm not sure about it at the time of designing the standard. So here what standard I'm specifying, that okay, you have a polygon. So any polygon that requires 2 double type of parameters for calculating area can utilize this particular standard. Is this clear, everyone, or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So any polygon. So I'm setting up a standard. Yes. Here also, like, what is a standard? Like whenever you want to, or whenever now you are working with Zorient, right? So you have a certain standards to follow, isn't it? How you are going to log in, what you are going to use, or even the Zoom, right? So Zoom platform is provided to us, isn't it? But then people can connect to Zoom by using their personal email ID or company email ID or laptop or desktop or mobile. Yes. So connect is one standard. Now how people are connecting, that depends on, means I'm talking about, yes, this is a standard which everyone needs to follow, whoever wants to utilize that particular functionality. But I'm not sure if I will provide the functionality, yes, connect with laptop. So if I will predict that whenever the connection needs to be happened, the connection will be done only through the laptop. So in that case, people may not be able to connect using mobile. Are you getting this particular point, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What functionality I want is any person who has the Zoom meeting details can connect to a meeting. So whether it is by using laptop or desktop or mobile or personal email ID or company email ID, that is not the concern of connect method. Clear? So this is abstraction. What? Yes, it is clear. Calculate area of a polygon which accepts two parameters. How? That is decided into the subclasses which are designed and which are going to provide the implementation for this particular method. Okay. No queries now. So, first of all, so the question got answered over here. Can we have such methods? So yes, we can have such method. Such methods must be marked with a modifier. We have talked about this abstract when we have discussed about the modifiers, right? So these methods must be marked with abstract as a modifier. That is first thing. They must end with a semicolon. We won't have the curly bracket. If we have a curly bracket, that means you are providing a function body. Here we don't have curly bracket, we have a semicolon. And whenever at least one method in a class is an abstract method, then the entire class must be declared as an abstract class. Are you getting this point, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So whenever you are declaring any method,
These can contain only abstract methods.
what?
That means abstract class can contain only abstract methods.
I didn't say that. What I said, when minimum one method is abstract method, I said minimum one. Right? I didn't say that only abstract. I said minimum one. This method, is this method abstract method?
No, ma'am.
No. Am I getting any compilation error at polygon class level? I'm getting error at polygon main. I agree. We will come to that point, that why we are getting the error over here. But let's keep this point aside right now. We will remove that compilation error. But am I getting any compilation error over here in polygon class? No.
No.
That means what? Whenever I have a class that needs to be declared as an abstract class, that means, or in other way, I would say, from the method perspective, when minimum one method is abstract method, you can go for a class, or you must declare that class as an abstract class. Okay, this is what we need over here, right? Abstract classes can have abstract as well as non-abstract methods. Now certain pointers related to abstract class. Abstract classes. So what are these abstract class? When minimum one method is abstract in a class, class must be declared as an abstract class. Right? Now abstract modifier can be applicable only to the methods and the class. A variable cannot be declared as an abstract variable, or interface cannot be abstract. Only class or method can be abstract. Is this clear, everyone? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So abstract class can have abstract as well as non-abstract methods. How many abstract methods we can have? There is no restriction on it. How many non-abstract methods you can have? Again, there is no restriction on it. You can have any number of abstract methods, any number of non-abstract methods. Now, we have declared this particular method as an abstract. Why? Because the implementation of calc area is completely dependent on whatever is the requirement of the subclass. Okay. Now, here overriding is implemented. Overriding means what? Actually, this method must be defined. Unless you define the method, unless you have the complete concrete method, you cannot execute it. Because when I suppose I will create object of polygon and I will invoke this calc area method. Is there any implementation available for execution? We don't have, right? There is no implementation available for execution. So what they have restricted is abstract classes cannot be instantiated. However, must be inherited. We have seen that the reusability, either through has a relationship or through is a relationship. Has a relationship means what? You are going to create an object of that particular class. So one class has another class, right? So that is has a relationship. Other way of reusability is what? Is a relationship, isn't it? So when we have has a relationship and is a relationship available over here, in that case, definitely what we are going to do, either of the one is used. Has a relationship is not possible, so we must inherit. Yes, we must inherit. So abstract classes cannot be instantiated, however, they must be inherited. Okay, and what is the responsibility of the subclass? The responsibility of the subclass over here is whatever abstract method you have, that abstract method must be completed or must be provided the implementation. That is must. Okay. Whenever you have any abstract method in a class and the subclass that is inheriting that particular abstract class must define the method. And definition is through what? Overriding. Now again, why this @override is available over here? It checks that you have not changed the signature of the superclass. Because when you are claiming that I'm overriding a method, it is mandatory. It is a mandatory check that whatever method signature you have used, that method signature is not modified. Okay, that's why this @override is given. Now suppose the subclass, which is extending an abstract class, is not defining the abstract method. Like say for example, this polygon is extended by triangle, but triangle has not provided this particular method. So what we need to do is either it says that either add unimplemented methods or make type triangle as abstract. Okay, that means when any subclass is not defining the abstract method, ये यहाँ पे how we are getting more people joining in 32. What is this batch strength, guys? What is your batch strength? Are you aware?
Around 30, ma'am. 30, 31.
हैकर अर्थ पे कितने लोगों का आया मुझे? I don't think I received. Okay, I will check how many. Did anybody didn't give? I mean, ऐसा कोई है who has not appeared for the assessment yesterday? "31 took the test. One person has not taken the test. Who has not taken the test? कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. 31 यहाँ बता रहा है, invited 32 बोल रहा है. ये तो मुझे ठीक लग रहा है, बट फाइन. Okay, so coming back to this point. So whenever
Ma'am,
you
regarding the abstract methods, is it necessary to define all the abstract methods in the child class, or just the some if we define it's okay?
no. So suppose your superclass has 10 abstract methods. So your subclass must implement all 10. If
Okay.
not, then the subclass or the child class also needs to be declared as a abstract class.
We can't partially define them, right, ma'am?
No. Unless all 10 abstract methods from the superclass are defined, you cannot instantiate. Yes, we cannot instantiate, and unless instantiation, I mean, unless the methods are available in the form of concrete implementation, we cannot have instantiation, we cannot have execution of the methods.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So now, can anyone answer why I'm getting compilation error over here? What could be the reason?
Abstract class का object नहीं होता.
Correct. We cannot instantiate abstract class, but we can create a reference. A reference of abstract class can be created because once we have this extends keyword added over here, means we are following what now? Inheritance is what we are following. So we can create reference of superclass and store object of subclass in it. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. Are you implementing this particular code or no? Yes, are you implementing the code, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So please go ahead and complete the implementation. Are you able to access the Ignite folder, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what you are supposed to do? I saw that there is a lot of khichdi done over there. Please don't do that. Create a folder with your name and employee ID, and all your work just upload to that particular folder only. Follow a standard format. Name, first name, last name, underscore, employee ID. Create that particular folder over there, and in that folder only your work should be stored. If I will see any folder with these standards not followed, I'm not going to visit that particular folder. Now, what is the requirement of creating a folder? Because whatever assignments you have implemented so far and whatever assignments you will be implemented in future, you are going to upload there. Clear?
On Ignite, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, clear? Guys, any query in here or no? We are good.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now, why you should take care that the very first class is going to define all the methods, so that you don't get a chain of just abstract subclass methods, right? Okay, आगे बढ़े.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is about the abstract classes. Now, my question to you: we cannot create object of abstract class, right? So can we have constructor in abstract class? Got my question?
Yes, ma'am.
So can we have constructor? I'm not able to
No.
create an object.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we can have.
Can
Yeah,
have,
but
but we don't create an object now.
we don't need it because we don't have.
Correct. Constructor has got nothing to do with object creation. New operator creates the object. Constructor is invoked at the time of object creation. So we write the logic for instance data member initialization, right? So obviously, as abstract methods can have variables, can abstract class have variables? Yes, I have declared this area variable over here. Can I have constructor? It is not giving me any error. Let's see. Because how constructors behave in interface. As I told you, once you have this abstract class and it is extended by its subclasses, what do we have next? We just have the inheritance, right? Yes or no? Yes, guys, say yes, no.
Yes.
मतलब दोनों नहीं बोलना है, इधर yes और have you understood what I said, or just blindly you are saying because I'm telling you to say yes, you are saying yes, or no? Don't say that. So how these constructors are going to work? As we have inheritance over here, see, first polygon class constructor is invoked, then rectangle. ये कहाँ से आया rectangle class? हाँ, this is from the calc area, right? So even though it is an abstract class, definitely we can have a constructor because because constructor is not responsible for creating the object. Constructor gets invoked whenever object is created. So we can write the code of instance data variable initialization in a constructor. So remember this particular point. Clear? Okay. Now, can I have a class in which none of the method is I create a class where none of the method is a concrete method. That means all methods are abstract methods. So
we can create one.
yes, correct. We can have a class which contains all methods as abstract methods, right? However, such classes are no more termed as classes, but these classes are termed as interfaces. Okay, these classes are termed as interfaces. So now what is an interface? Okay, one more thing. Can have instance data members and constructor. Don't forget this particular point. Okay, so now what is an interface? So what is an interface? Interface is nothing but a complete abstract class. All methods are by default abstract. Okay, means there you don't need to specify abstract keyword. Once you use interface keyword, that is understood that all the methods are going to be abstract. So now what is an interface? Interface is something which is going to give you some standard. Yes. So again, here we can relate that, okay, there is one standard to be followed. Yes. As say, for example, do coding. Okay, means it is specified that yes, a person who is able to perform this particular action should do coding. Code likhna hai, right? Write certain code. So now what are various ways of implementing it? Some people might choose C programming language to write the code. Suppose one problem statement is given and it is mentioned that, okay, write a code for this particular problem statement. Programming language is not mentioned over here. Yes. So some people might choose C programming language. Some people might choose C++. Some is using Python. Some is using Java. So all these are what? Ways of implementing coding process, right? So everybody is going to write the code, but how they are implementing is not predicted. So I'm giving one specific standard to be followed. Yes, a specific standard to be followed. How to implement it? Again, that is provided or that needs to be decided by the entity which is going to provide that implementation for the function. Fine, clear everyone? That is nothing but interface. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So now whenever we are implementing this particular code, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to create an interface. All the methods will be abstract method. That is the standard to be followed. Now, whenever, again, what is a standard? Like whenever you are employee of Zorient, Zorient has some standards to be followed. Yes, That means you need to log in your system at this particular time. These are the login credentials that should be used. So all the standards are already there and you are supposed to follow. You cannot change those standards, right? Ideally. Yes, ideally, you cannot change those standards. You are supposed to follow those particular standards. So how we are going to do that? So first of all, let's consider creation of interface. Now let's take an example of animal. Okay, so animal is one standard. Okay, fine. There are a number of animals. What all properties or what all behaviors I can think of right now? So animals has a lot of properties. Yes, I can have a specific standard specified. Implementation I'm not talking about. Interfaces always talk about the standard. Yes, even like whenever you are using mobile, whenever you need to use mobile and you need to follow certain standard for utilization of that particular mobile. That is an interface. When you are using laptop, you need to follow certain standards. Yes, if you don't follow those standards, you won't be able to work on laptop. Right? So everywhere we have interface. Isn't it? In practice, in day-to-day life. Now, how it is brought into programming language, this is what we are going to see over here. So whenever we talk about animal, there are a number of animals, but they have common behavior. The behavior is like, say, for example, public void eat, public void speak. Suppose these two standards I have provided for animals. So all animals have these features, these common features. But at this point, I cannot say that what is the eating habit, what is the speaking habit. Because if I will do so, I am specifying that all animals are eating in the same way or all animals speak in this same way. That I don't know. I can predict only the standard, but not the implementation. So this is the way how I'm going to use interface. Now what I should do? I will create a class which will be an animal. Again, I'm going to check that whether the class which I'm specifying is animal or not. If I'm designing a class car, I cannot have class using or following standards of animal. Or when I say dog, I cannot have a dog class following standards of vehicle. Isn't it? These restrictions are there. So again, here we are checking is a relationship between these two entities, interface and class. So is a relationship is checked. Now I want this particular class to follow the standards which are provided in this particular animal interface. So first of all, the keyword used is interface. All the methods are ending with semicolon, but I have not used abstract keyword. It is not required because whenever you say it is an interface, all methods are by default abstract methods. Okay. So here what we have is dog implements animal. So there is a contract between a class and a there is a contract between the class and an interface. What is that contract? Whenever a class is going to implement any interface, the class must define the methods that are available in an interface. Okay, whatever abstract methods. So if an interface contains 10 abstract methods, the class implementing that interface must provide the implementation for all those 10 methods. This is the contract. A class is going to extend another class, and class is going to implement an interface. Implements is again a keyword. So this class must define these methods. If you are not defining what should be done, the class must be declared as an abstract class. That means you cannot again create object of it. You will have to inherit that abstract class. Are you getting this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are you really getting this, or I'm just keeping on chapad? No, na?
अच्छा हाय उधर इधर से चल ऊपर से फिर कोने बार पगली मुझे क्लास नहीं बंद है में आप
शालू क्या बोल रही है?
घूमने जाना है लग रहा है।
किसी को तो चला रही है।
हाँ. शालू, where are you? Not at home?
मैम एक्चुअली माय भांजी इज देयर सॉरी मैम
Fine. So this is what we have. So this is the contract between the class and the interface. So when an interface is provided, all the methods are abstract. A class is implementing that interface. So in that case, this class must provide the implementation for all the methods. Failing to do so means if the class is not implementing all the methods from the interface, the class must be declared as an abstract class. So again, once the abstract class comes in picture, you will have to inherit it, provide the subclass. There you have to define the method. If not, again that subclass to be declared as an abstract and so on. Right? So you can decide that at what level you want all the methods to be implemented, because unless these methods are implemented and represented as concrete methods, you cannot invoke those methods, right? So here I will write system.out.println क्या खाएगा dog? Pedigree खाएगा. And how dog will speak? Bark. Let's create another class as cat. Cat is also an animal. So it will also follow the same standards. Right? There is a contract. Cat क्या खाएगा? It's a vegetarian cat, so milk. Parle ji, parle ji से बाल झड़ते हैं.
मछली खिला दो.
Animals.
Sugar खाएगा.
No sugar content for animals.
Yes.
Fish चलेगा, milk, fish. Okay.
Rat.
बाप रे इतना सारा. Rat. Okay. Choice is yours. Speak. Right? So this is the eating habit. थोड़ा देखते हैं. This lion. Lion is also an animal. Lion also has the same so it is going to eat other animals, small animals, and lion is going to roar. Yes. So this is the interface. This is the standard which is followed by these classes. Obviously, here we are checking is a relationship. Unless you have is a relationship satisfied over here, you cannot go for implementation of an interface. Clear? Now let's create a class which is animal main. Oi, she's Linus. Cookie is sitting here. She's Linus. Actually, I have two dogs and they keep on fighting. And both are here right now. Whenever he enters the room, she starts, Gurrana uspe. And looks, she gives good looks to him. This is my
Like a
pet.
wife will shout to her husband. Similar.
But they are.
Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you staring me? Just a minute. Okay, now settled. There is a lot of female dominance here. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to create a reference over here. Yes, this is reference of animal. Definitely, as this animal is an interface, right? We cannot create object of it. It cannot be instantiated. Interface must be implemented by a class. Okay, interface must be implemented by a class, and that class can be abstract class or concrete class. It must be a class. So if abstract class is implementing an interface, again you have a facility to keep that method as an abstract or provide implementation over there, have some additional abstract methods, and then continues the hierarchy that you can have. But whenever it comes about the interface, a class must implement an interface and provide the implementation. Because in case of abstract classes, what we are going to have, even though the abstract class is not providing implementation for a specific method, subclasses are going to provide implementation for the abstract methods, right? So here what we can do is animal is equal to new dog, or animal is equal to new cat. So what we are achieving through this is, first thing is we are achieving the loose coupling. There is loose coupling. Now, whenever we are talking about loose coupling, definitely in core Java, it is not that effective, but whenever we will go through the framework level, that when I have an interface and multiple implementations are provided, so which implementation I want to use, right? So that is dependent on the requirement. Yes. So in that particular case, we can decide which of the implementation is required, and that can be available through loose coupling. Because reference of interface can hold object of the class, any of the class which is been implemented. Yes. Now you can see that how many animals are there. How many animals are there? N number of animals are there. Right? Now, whether I want to represent animal as a dog or a cat or a lion, that I can decide through the loose coupling. So I'm going to, and through this, we are also achieving runtime polymorphism. So whenever I am invoking these methods, right? So this is again what? Runtime polymorphism achieved through loose coupling. Yes. Now, if you are in future, if it is required that you are being interviewed by client or anyone, so there are certain terms. If it is asked that what is the use of interface, so there are certain terminologies which is must part of your answer. So if any question is asked about interface, that what is an interface, what is the use of interface, so there are certain pointers which you need to remember. Is interface provides us the standards to be followed by classes, right? It allows us to have the loose coupling, right? This loose coupling means what? This animal reference can hold any of the object of the class which is implementing that particular interface. This is what we have. Yes. However, whenever it comes about tight coupling means what? Suppose I have created object of or reference of dog class. So it can hold only dog class type of object. Yes, it cannot hold cat type of object or lion type of object because that is tight coupling. Yes, so here we can make use of loose coupling. Also, if you are passing any parameter of type animal, so suppose you have another implementation as zoo, right? Zoo will have animals. Now, what type of animal you want to keep in zoo, right? So that you can specify by just, suppose zoo is the class. There you have a method like zoo में animal को admit किया जाएगा. Admit in the sense entry दी जाएगी, right? Or zoo contains animal. This relationship when I want. So what type of animal? There can be n number of animals that are available or that are present in zoo. So in that case, if you are going to pass a specific type of object specified based on the type of class, that is tight coupling. But instead of that, if I will go to interface level, yes, so in interface, you can specify any type of animal can be available in zoo. Okay, so just think of this particular statement and create that class zoo. Check if you are able to implement loose coupling.
Apart from definition, ma'am, would you like to explain
What?
loose? Apart from definition of loose coupling or a strong coupling, what is the in real life or simple way we can call it?
What?
In easy with apart from definition, ma'am, that is it's only a
Okay,
side
real life example of loose coupling.
Yeah.
You mean to
Yeah.
say. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. So loose coupling, right? Okay. Now, say for example, in a company, right? There will be employees, right? In a company, there will be employees. Employees will be of different type. Yes, an employee can be a CEO is also employee, a manager is also employee, a lead is also employee, right? Or a tester is also employee. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So if I will say that recruit an employee, if this is my method, and if I will say that I have a class which is of type manager, suppose the class is manager, and I will pass that manager as a parameter over there. That means I'm restricting that recruitment will be done only for the managers, isn't it? But I want
Yes,
recruitment to be done for all sort of employees. So this is loose coupling. And that will be provided by interface, because interface can have any of its class type which is implemented.
yes, ma'am.
You are supposed to create a class zoo. Done, everyone. Have you created the zoo class?
Yes, ma'am.
You can declare function standards, right? What are the functions and what will be the standards? Fine. Also, you can assign the variables. Okay, and whatever variables you are assigning in an interface, those variables are by default final. Okay, and a final variable is some variable which is used to declare a constant. We have discussed about these final variables whenever we have discussed about modifiers, right? Non-access modifiers when we have discussed about. So final is a keyword that is available, and final keyword allows us to declare the variables that are constant. So whenever in interface we are going to declare variable, those variables will be by default constant. You don't need to make use of final keyword over there. So what could be the use case of declaring a constant variable? Like say, for example, you are declaring or you are defining a banking application. I guess we have discussed about it earlier as well. So whenever you are defining or designing this particular application, so in that application, you must have interest rate. Yes. And interest rate must not be modified by the application. So in such scenarios, at interface level itself, you can declare a variable and that variable will be constant. Now, one more thing you need to remember in case of interfaces is you are not going to have any constructor. The responsibility of constructor is to initialize the data members. Instance data members, but interface is never going to have any instance data member. Okay, because interface is not meant for it. So in this case, whenever you are declaring any variable which is a constant, it will be your responsibility as a developer to assign a value to it, to initialize that particular data member. You won't be able to get any constructor over here. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, value of pi or interest rate. Correct. That you can specify. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
If we declare the level inside interfaces, then it's our responsibility for that.
Yes, correct. Because there is no constructor available which can do that for us. That's why.
Yes.
Okay. So now start implementing the assignment.
Ma'am, what is to do with zoo class?
Which class?
Zoo class, ma'am.
हाँ उसको complete करो ना. You are
Zoo class
supposed to
contain only one method, which animal.
हाँ,
How I
currently
know
only
which
one method.
animal?
Yes. Currently only one method.
Okay.